everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So it's time for those 1 minute book recs. I know this video is a little bit late. Sorry, I was in Florida. But it is time for those 1 minute book recs. And this is where we go over all the books we read in the past week with 1 minute synopsises for each book.
Well, we would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. We are very happy that you're here, and like and comment. Let us know what you've been reading.
Yeah. So just in case anybody can hear it, there might be an echo. I'm in the warehouse. I'm trying to get Beth Flynn's books out the door. So, took a vacation and now it's back to work. So we're doing it from here. So hopefully there isn't, but there is. Sorry. Okay. Now that I got that out of the way. How was your reading week? I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too. It was weird not talking to you all the time.
I know. I probably wouldn't have been able to. I was sweating too much.
Well, I mean, I got some random texts and stuff from you, but
But having our phone calls, yeah.
Yeah. I read a lot. I got quite a few novellas off my list that had been sitting there for a while, so I got 13 in. I think that might be a record for me, or pretty close.
Pretty close. I got all full length. There's no novellas here. I read 11, but one is a trilogy. So that's what, 9 that I'll be talking about?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that means you get to start.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I am already in the holiday spirit. I've decorated for Christmas. My tree is up. We are ready for Christmas here.
No, not here.
You're like the only person I know that still holds true to the Thanksgiving thing.
You are like one of the only people I know who decorates early.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You can count 2 people. Yeah.
Huh?
I got 2 people, you and another friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? And I will. Thanksgiving deserves to be celebrated. Thank you very much.
No, people that I know that used to feel that way no longer do, and they have decorated as well.
Well, that's cool for them. It will not happen at my house. I am a diehard. I have actual Thanksgiving decorations. They deserve their time in the sun, okay?
You can do that. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to.
No
You can do Christmas early. I won't judge.
I don't think it's a big deal.
No.
You seemed a little saucy about
your
it.
boat. No, I just want my Thanksgiving decorations out. Our daughter tried to decorate early last year, and I think it was a week before Thanksgiving that she decorated, but that's because I wasn't home, and Jeff told her go for it.
Oh, when she gets her own house, she's going to be like me then, November 1st.
Be like, I'm just like my Auntie Mandy. It's time to go. So,
all right.
Okay.
So I got in the mood for some holiday books already. Mm-hmm. So I read Slaying the Holidays by Beatrix Hollow, because what else would say
I'm really intrigued by this
than a dark romance. So it's hard to talk about this book because it's a little wild. So I'm just going to say it's like holiday rom-com, but make it patient therapist with a serial killer.
Yeah.
How's that work for it? So Soren sees Sophie. Sophie is his therapist, and she has tried to guide him through a divorce that he had and all of that. And yeah, he just goes crazy and starts murdering people, but he falls for Sophie and Sophie falls for him because, how is this not a balanced relationship? It's wild. It's weird to call it rom-com-y, but I kind of felt like it had rom-com vibes while having really messed up stuff happening as well. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. I'm sure you would like it too.
Oh, I'm sure. And maybe I did read that one last year. There's another one by Beatrix Hollow that she co-wrote with somebody else that I haven't read, that is a holiday one that there's audio out for it now, so I'll probably read it this year. I don't know if that's the one or not, but she has a way of writing dark, but she adds that rom-com, the humor to it, and you don't even realize, both of her Asylum ones that I've loved have been funny. They're funny, even though they're dark and crazy. So
Yeah,
I like
it's
that about her.
very wild.
Yeah. Okay, so my next one's also going to be a little bit hard to talk about because this is the second book in Addison Cain's Insatiable Instinct series, or duet. It's a duet. And I read the first book last week, which was, well, let me tell you, was His Darkest Deceit. But this is His Darkest Devotion. And so this is the conclusion of Lorianne and her teacher, General Sidriel's story. Again, like this one is really, really hard to talk about. In the beginning, the first book, so this is an Omegaverse. It is teacher student. Basically, he's kind of been like a guardian or watching over her. He's known for 10 years that she was his mate, that she was his match, and he waited until she grew up to even instigate anything because he knew it would not be, it would, not that the government would frown upon it. He could have done something, but he didn't like the idea of that. And so he waited until she grew up, until I think she's like 19 or 20 at this point, until she was old enough to pursue that. This one definitely has like a forced bond situation. Weird peens, they're kind of aliens as well. I don't really want to talk too much about it. I did talk about it last week, so you can go back and watch that if you want. But it is Omegaverse with that forced breeding, forced pair bonding, and that's pretty much it. It's really good. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed the duet. There is, so the books themselves you can get off Amazon. You can also get them off of her Addison Cain's Shopify store. And on her Shopify store, she actually has audio, and that is not available through Audible. You have to get it through her Shopify store, and that is what I did. So I think it was $10, $9.99. You can buy a whole bundle deal and have the whole thing. I do like Addison Cain. She writes some crazy Omegaverse. There's very dark Omegaverse, and that's what I like. So.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Okay, so next I decided I wanted to finish the Fun for the Holiday series. I only had 2 left, so I decided I was going to go back and finish those 2. So
Okay.
I listened to, again, this is the one Audible credit for the 12 stories. They're all novellas, but some are a little bit longer than others. So this was Flirting with Sunshine by Jay Sterling. This is Ava and Tony's story. Ava's divorced. She moves across like the country to move back home to run her family's restaurant. Tony's a grumpy fisherman there, and they meet. And I mean, it was pretty quick. I just, like I said before, the ones that aren't really centered around holidays have kind of missed for me. So this is just a summer one. There was really no even connection really to that, I didn't think. And I got kind of bored at times. So I rated it 3 stars. And that's that.
Okay.
Uh-oh. There we
Well,
go.
there we go. Okay. Got a little warm here. I had to turn the fan on to me. Hold on. Okay. I am wearing a sweater. Okay. So the next book, when we were doing our live show with Amber and Jen, somebody was talking about how Saffron Kent had a new dark cowboy coming out. And so I thought I would take a chance again on her. I've only read one of her books, I think. Total, just yeah, I only read one. And I listened to this book. So let me tell you about it. So this is branded, like I said, by Saffron A. Kent. This is interesting. So this one, not that I didn't like it, it's just interesting. So we have our heroine who is Peyton. And as she starts writing to an inmate, and she writes under her best friend's name. She doesn't use her own name, and she does it for a school project. Well, we find out it's her best friend who is horrible at school, and Peyton's doing her schoolwork for her. But it's a school thing. She's trying to get this extra credit to bring up this grade, and so she writes, and that is where she starts talking to Bo, who is also using a fake name at the time, and which gets a little confusing in the book because I mean I listened to the audio and I listened to it on very fast speed, and so it did take me out every once in a while because they were using fake names. But she starts writing to him, and she kind of starts to fall for him. And so then when he gets out of prison, she meets up with him, and he completely rejects her when she meets up with him, and she doesn't understand why. And so then she goes to find him and see him again. She kind of follows him home, so she knows where he is to kind of see what the deal was, because she's really attached to this guy, and he'd made some big promises in his letters. And when she sees him for the second time, he kidnaps her because that's what happens. I gave it 4 stars. There were a few things that kind of drove me nuts. She is plus sized and it is referenced quite a bit. And as someone who is not tiny, I hate that. I absolutely loathe it. I don't want I don't want to be reminded that I'm not perfect. So that's just what it does for me. It's a personal thing. I don't like it. And I think there were it could have been like 100 pages shorter, but I still enjoyed it. The audio was great. Just listen to it fast. You'll be good. So
I've only read one Saffron Kent book and I absolutely hated it. I know lots of people like her, so maybe I should give her another try. I don't know.
I would. I mean, and this one was good. Again, I would suggest audio. I think I probably would have gotten bored at certain parts if I read it. I did really enjoy the pen pal portion of it because it is shown in flashbacks where we see their letters back and forth to each other, and I enjoy that. And I know you enjoy that correspondence part too. And you do have that prison situation. This does have like rival families, and that's why and like mistaken identity because he thinks she's somebody else. And it was good. There were just a few parts where I was like, okay, if I was physically reading this, it would have dragged at this point. So, I did enjoy it though. So yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So next, I did the last book that I needed to do, which was number 9 in the Fun for the Holidays. And this is Falling for the Boss, again, by Jay Sterling. This is Sutton and Joseph's story. So Joseph is a millionaire and his mom and him are very close. His mom is very concerned that he has not met like the love of his life yet. And so she keeps trying to fix him up with people. He does not want to be fixed up anymore. So he asks his assistant to find him somebody that could go with him, like as a fake date, basically, to some engagements to get his mom off his back. And so she sets him up with her best friend, Sutton. And Sutton and Joseph actually already met before and it didn't go over super well. So this is how all of that's going to work out. It is pretty quick and there wasn't really any fall vibes, but I actually did enjoy this one. So I rated it 4 stars.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for the noises. If you can hear that, the cat is trying to break in and she's not happy that the door is shut.
I don't hear it, but I'm also in a warehouse where it's kind of harder to hear things. So, okay. So the next book I read was, again, a reread, and we talked about these last week. I continued on with the Tilly Cole books in her Hades Hangman series. This one's number 4. Again, the first 5 books you can get on Audible. If you're looking, and somebody asked already, if you're looking for It Ain't Me, Babe, which is the first book of physical copy, Tilly does have them on her website in her store. But you're also going to have to pay international shipping, but it's still cheaper than paying the scalper prices that are out there to get them because these books are not
international
available.
shipping is insane.
It is. But Tilly
like
has
$40
promised us,
for one book.
I would suggest listening to them on audio. It's going to be cheaper. And at some point, these books will come back out. Tilly has promised. It's just you might have to wait a little while before you get the physical copies. So, so let's talk about Deep Redemption, which is book number 4 in the Hades Hangman series. So this is where I just moved my whole screen, so I can't even see anything. So this is where this is Harmony and Ryder's story, or Harmony and Kane's story. We met Ryder in the first book. He actually goes by Kane in this book. And this one is hard to talk about this one without giving away spoilers, but Kane has been deceived by his brother and he is being held in a compound. So this is definitely dark MC, and it is deals with cults and some other things. So he has been being held captive at the cult compound, and he has to find a way to escape. And in the meantime, there is a girl being held next to him in a cell next to him that he makes a connection with. And if you've read these are basically his redemption story. And again, this is another one I can't really talk about because if you haven't read the books up until this point, I don't want to give anything away. There's a lot of spoilers happening here. So I'm just saying, if you've read the first one, you continue on. And I do suggest reading these in order. Otherwise, you're going to be a little lost because I don't think they're meant to be read as standalones. The story continues with the outside forces that are coming in on them. So again, I love Tilly has the best MC, hands down, best MC ever. So
it was very good.
It was very good. So, okay, what do you got?
All right, next, I listened to JT Geisinger's newest release, which is Blackthorn. And oh, let me tell you about this one. So this is Maven, and Maven comes back to Blackthorn. Blackthorn is like the name of their big mansion. And she comes back home because her grandmother has passed away. So she's back for just a few days. She brings her daughter, and they're just coming back for this. Her aunts still live there. Her aunts are very odd people. And this, oh gosh, so she's a Blackthorn. The Crofts are another family. The two families don't like each other. Rowan is in the picture somehow. He's a Croft. Like, this book is crazy wild. So she markets it as a fantasy, romantasy, dark romance, which I would 100% agree with. And it delivers on everything. Like, this book is phenomenal. I don't really want to say much more about it because I don't want to give anything away. I rated it 5 stars, and the audio is fantastic. It's got Connor Crass, Veronica Page, and Tara Langle. And oh, it is just, I loved it so much. So highly recommend it. And I normally am not into like the whole like romantasy type stuff. This maybe has more paranormal vibes than that. But oh gosh, it was really good.
Okay.
Highly recommend.
Okay. So at the beginning of the video, I was talking about Addison Kane, and I said she was a little crazy, is like her Omega versus Dark and crazy. So I noticed when I was on her website or in her Shopify store that there's a series that I started, like, was my very first Addison Kane that I picked up back in 2020, and it's incomplete. And I noticed that the 6th book is finally coming out, and I needed to do a reread of at least the first. I mean, I did the first 3 books this week. So the first 3 are a set, a couple, and then the next 3 are a couple. So that is, and I'm telling you guys, these are dark and crazy. So this book actually starts with Born to Be Bound by Addison Kane, and you can get the audio and you can get the books on Amazon, but it's easier to find it if you just go to her Shopify store. And I honestly think it's cheaper if you want the audio because she has like big bundles. So this is a bind up of the first 3 books. So this is about Claire and Shepard. This is Omegaverse. This is dark. It's dystopian. It's crazy. So this is about Shepard and Claire. Claire is our Omega. She's been living in what they call the Undercroft, so it's kind of like the slums in this world. And Shepard is, he was like in, he was almost like in prison, and in their prison, like, you never get out of their prison. Well, the prisoners rioted and they basically took over the government. And so Shepard is an alpha, and he's got these markings on him that are from being in the prison, but they look like tattoos everywhere. She goes to the Citadel to try to get him to help the Omegas, and she disguises her scent, but not good enough. So the minute she is in contact with him, he knows that she's an Omega. He immediately takes her and forces a bond on her, and then kind of pretty much keeps her captive. And she keeps running away, and he keeps grabbing her and bringing her back, and it's a whole thing. She's forced to be there. She doesn't want to. So like I said, I read the first 3. I still love them. I think, and I got to go back and change this. I think on Goodreads, I only gave them 3 stars back in the day because I was embarrassed. I have no embarrassment now. They're good. They're worth the read. So just go right ahead. The audio, though, is all done by a guy, which is hard. Like, he's not bad, especially for a guy doing girl parts. It still, it needs to be redone. So just saying.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, on Halloween, I started this book and then I didn't get it finished. And so I was like, ooh, I need to go back and finish it. So I went and finished Fright Night by M.L. Is it Philpott?
I have no idea what you're looking at. Okay.
Okay. So in this one, we have Oakley and Knox. They are step siblings, and they like to play tricks on each other. So when they're in high school, they play all these tricks on each other, and it leads to Knox ending up getting arrested and sent away for 2 years. And he is now back, and he is sort of out for revenge, but also still really likes his stepsister. So this is a step sibling, like, sort of taboo-ish forbidden romance. Definitely forbidden by their parents, who the dad is the mayor, and this would be like a horrible scandal for him. So he is very against this whole situation. He's been watching her. There's stalking, there's mass. It's wild. I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. Like when they're wild. Okay. Well, the next book I read is Secret Plunge by Jasmine Miller. This is the first book in her Kings of Water series. I've actually read the second one, which is a nanny book. This one is a surprise pregnancy book. But this one is about Harper and Ryan. So Harper is newly divorced, and she and her best friend go out on New Year's Eve. They go out to a bar. She meets Ryan. They go back to his hotel room, and they have a crazy one night stand that lasts all night. And she leaves before he wakes up the next morning because she doesn't want the awkwardness of the situation. Now she knows his name is Ryan, but she doesn't know anything more than that about him. So lo and behold, she gets pregnant. And what do you do? So she's trying to find him with no luck at all. When she decides to go visit her father on the other side of the country, he's a swim coach for pro athletes, and he's remarried. You know, they have a good relationship, but she doesn't get to see him all that often. So she goes to see her dad, and lo and behold, there is Ryan. He is a pro athlete. He's a swimmer. He is the one that her dad has been complaining about a lot lately, but he is trying to go to the Olympics for the third time. And that is when she's able to meet up with him and tell him that she's pregnant, but she doesn't tell him who she is. She doesn't tell him, or at least who her father is. She uses her mother's last name, because she doesn't want, because of the animosity between her dad and him. And so this is their story. I gave it 4 stars. I kind of felt like a lot of things could have just been solved had she just told them who she was, but that's okay. So I did enjoy, I mean, I've enjoyed the first 2 books in the series. So this is, I think the first one I read like in 2020. So, but they can all be read as standalones. They're all standalones. They're all pro athlete swimmers in these books. So there you go.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I decided after those books, I wanted to go back into some Christmas feels.
Okay.
So I read a book that I think you read last spring, Out of Season.
Okay. Yep.
But that is Santa's Coming by Serena Pure, and that is the first book in the High Five series. So it's a novella, so it was a pretty quick read. Nicholas, of course, is the owner of the bar, and he is playing Santa. And Emily's a single mom. She happens to be out with some friends, is dared to sit on Santa's lap, so you can kind of see where this is going. And he decides that he really wants to date her. He's very much like a cinnamon roll hero, which is something I kind of noticed about Serena's books, is her heroes are always usually pretty like cinnamon rolly golden retriever type heroes. So quick read. I enjoyed it. It definitely will get you in the holiday spirit if that's what you're wanting to do, because it's very Christmassy themed with the whole, Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I rated it 4 stars.
Okay.
Was that like masked enough for you when he's wearing the Santa beard?
Yeah. It was a disguise. I mean, it's just dressed up as Santa before. It didn't do anything for me. I just need that out there. So I'd rather him being dressed up as Ghostface. Okay, so just so we all know.
So naughty.
I am naughty. Yeah. Okay, so the next book I read was the last one that is on Audible and available by Tilly Cole, and this is Damnable Grace. This is AK and Phoebe's book. So AK is my favorite hangman, but I will give the caveat that in this one, our bad guys, the guys that we're fighting against, are the group from the KKK. And so if that is something that is hard for you to read, do not read it. They are the bad guys, so they are all killed in the end, but they are not necessarily, but they're the bad guys in this one. So this is like I said, Phoebe and AK. AK met Phoebe a couple of years earlier when they were rescuing somebody from the compound. So we have seen her before, but she is a part of this cult. She was actually one of the girls that is sent out to bring new recruits in, and she does that by using her body. And we see that she has actually been taken by the head of this Aryan Nation group, and she is being forced to basically be a prostitute or just be a body for this guy who's in charge. And they have like this little compound where people come and they can buy these girls who are a part of this cult, and they keep them drugged up and pliable, and they do all sorts of stuff to them. And so AK actually goes in with a group to rescue these women, and he's able to rescue Phoebe at first, but she is addicted to what they've been giving her. And AK is dealing with some demons of his own from serving in the Marines, and the two of them have to deal with their own demons together. So still loved it. AK is still my favorite. So
is that your favorite book or just favorite character?
Favorite Hangman, not my favorite book. My favorite book will always be the first one. Always, it'll be It Ain't Me, Babe.
Yeah,
Flame and Maddie's books are a close second. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. AK is just my favorite Hangman. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my next book is a re-release, but under a new name and new series name. So this is the Peachwood series, and it's Truly by Adriana Locke. Previously, it was called This Much Is True. So I listened to this one. It's narrated by Shiloh James and Lance Greenfield. And we have Lena. Lena is a celebrity. She's getting married. It's a big, like, she's a big celebrity. So, like, gossip columns, everybody's reporting on this wedding. And she decides that he is not the guy for her, and she runs. So she is a runaway bride. She comes back to Peachwood and goes to Luke, who is her, like, childhood first love, high school, teenage, that first love. I shouldn't have said childhood because that's not accurate. Anyways, so she shows up on his doorstep. He agrees that she can stay with him, but he's like, you're going to have to work on the farm. You're going to get muddy out in the barn. You're going to help me. And being somebody that has a barn, I'm not sure that she's understanding what she's signing up to do. There's some unfortunate things that do happen to her while she's trying to work on the farm. And the two of them this is like, a second chance romance, but it's also highly publicized because she's a runaway bride that was a celebrity. So I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars.
Okay. All right. Well, the next book I read is our book for book club this month. So while I won't give my rating, I'm going to talk about it. And while I do that, Mandy can give the details at the end about our book club and when that is, because my brain is still on vacation. All right. So I read Bad Bishop by LJ Shen. And this one is obviously her new release. It came out on the 4th. I listened to the audio, highly recommend it. The audio was amazing. Our hero is Irish, and the Irish accent was just perfect. So this is about Lila and Tiernan. Lila is a mafia princess, but she is deaf. And she has been forced by her mother her whole life to pretend that she's not only deaf, but that she's simple-minded, that she's not all there. And so her mother has asked her to do that and forced her to do that, like play with dolls and everything, so that the mafia men won't come for her, so that she won't have to be sold off as a bride in the mafia. And so one night she meets Tiernan. He is walking across her lawn after his brothers have removed his eye, and he gives her the eye. He is literally crazy. He is a psychopath. And there's a night, she's at a wedding one night at the very beginning of the book, and she is attacked and she is raped, and she turns out to be pregnant from this rape. And Tiernan owes her brothers some favors, and so they basically force a marriage on the two of them. Now Tiernan thinks that she is very, very simple and that she'll never be a full wife, and that leads to some things happening, but he soon finds out that there's more to her than what is being presented. So yeah.
You're wanting to give a rating. I could tell you're wanting to give some more opinions.
Yeah. So I can't wait for all of you guys to read it, and I can't wait to talk about it with everybody. So when is that?
It is November 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. So we'll see you there. Go listen to it. It's really good. The audio is really good. The audio's done well.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so next, I did this challenge last year, so I decided to do it again this year. the Hot and Bothered Book Club does a book every week that if you sign up, you can get it for free. You read the book, you fill out a quick little form. And if you do all of them, you get a sticker in the mail. And there's some prizes that some people will win. So if you're interested, go look them up. And I think you can still join in. So the first book, you're going to love this one, Jessica, was called Sparkles and Spankings by Sylvie Haas. Okay. So, and you'll see why I said you would love that. I read this in just a second. So Roxy is there. You have to suspend disbelief a little bit for this one, I feel, or at least I did. So Roxy's 18. She's a virgin. She is leading this charity auction. And they're auctioning themselves off for 4 hours of like help at Christmas time. So maybe you have them like clean your house or wrap presents, that sort of thing. Well, 3 men get into a bidding war on her. And she says, well, why don't you each pay that and you get me for 12 hours? And so the 3 men know each other. So they take her after the auction back to their place and basically have 12 hours to convince her that she should stay with all 3 of them. And it is a spicy, festive time after that.
Okay.
So I read a Why Choose.
Good for you.
I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm impressed. Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, speaking of Why Choose, let's talk about my next book. So I've been waiting for this audio to come out. It came out on the 4th, and of November 4th. And this is Unexpected Delivery by Jillian West. So this is an Omegaverse. This is the second book in her Every Very Pregnant Omega Finds Her Mate series, or her pack series. So this is about Arbor. She is about ready to pop. She's on the run from the baby daddy who was abusive, and she's hiding out in this cabin, a friend's cabin in Maine. She's driving a really rundown vehicle, and she goes into town to get groceries when she really has absolutely nothing. And that is when her car breaks down and she meets Morris. He runs the garage in town. And there's a connection between them, almost kind of like a scent match connection between them. And Morris has her go hang out in this gym. And this is where she meets a fighter. And that is, I don't know if it was Hayes or Hale. I can't remember because they're twin brothers. And she meets them. She goes home after he kind of fixes the car and gives her the bad news. There's going to be a lot of work that she needs to have on the car. And a couple of days later, she goes into labor, and she decides she's got to get to the hospital during a blizzard. And that is where her car goes off the road. And guess who finds her? The 3 boys. As they're coming home, they take her back to their house, and that is where she gives birth on their couch. And then it just goes from there. They fall in love with the baby. One of the boys actually puts his name down as the father on the birth certificate for insurance purposes, and it's like a whole thing. Then they're stuck together. So I really enjoyed it. It was great. I didn't know if I wanted to give it a 4 or 5. I'm going to stick with 4.5 because I did enjoy it, which Jillian West is typically just a 4-star. Not like the 4 stars bad, but she's never blown me out of the water. But I really like this one a lot. So there you go.
Okay. Well, my next read, apparently I was feeling like punishing myself or something. Okay. I had too much Christmas cheer, so I needed to have a good cry, apparently. And this one surprised me. I knew people said it was an emotional read, but let me tell you about it. So this is Hello Stranger by Jade West. So I've read Jade West. I've read Sugar Daddies, The Man Upstairs. Mm-hmm. Jade West writes really spicy, kind of, I say muddy, like almost crazy romance. Yeah. Like it's pretty intense on the spicy side. Like The Man Upstairs, there's a whisk. I mean, things get crazy. So when people said this was a super emotional read, I was like, I wonder what she's going to do in this that's going to make it an emotional read. So I read it. Oh my gosh. wrecked me. This book wrecked me. Now, you really should go in blind on this one, so I'm actually not going to tell you anything that it's about. But if you are looking for good emotional cleansing with crying, read this book. I do want to warn though, because I feel like this is something that people should know. They work in palliative care, so if that sort of thing is too much for you or a trigger, I would avoid this book. So I just wanted that to be known. I loved it. It was a 5-star read, probably a top read for me because I was hooked from the first page. And yeah, it got me a lot. I
Okay.
was shocked. I didn't think Jade West would do that to me, but she
Yeah.
did.
All right. Well, the next book I read is one that will be out later. I believe it comes out on Thursday. It'll be out later this week. And it's one we've been waiting on forever.
Oh, I
So
gotta plug my ears. I want to
start
go
your
in
humming right
blind.
now. Okay, so this is Mace by BJ Alpha. This is the 5th book in her Storm series, and BJ did not disappoint at all. So this is about we've seen Mace through the whole series. I do recommend reading the whole series in order, but we've seen him. We've known he's had a wife. He's been trying to get out of a divorce or get a divorce from her, but there have been circumstances that keep him in that divorce or in that marriage. And so now he has finally gotten his divorce, and he has not had sex in years. He was very faithful to his wife, even though she was not faithful to him. And that has caused a lot of damage for him mentally, thinking about his worthiness and whatever. So he decides that he's going to get an indulgence girl, and he's asked her to be innocent. And that is where Summer comes in. She is selling her virginity. He does not know that she's a virgin, but she is selling her virginity for college and for some other reasons. She's got some pretty big secrets that she's hiding. And so they have their one night stand, and then a few weeks later, he goes to the reading of his father's will. His father was a real bastard. Comes to find out that he has custody of his stepsister until she graduates from school. And what he doesn't realize is when they say school, they mean high school. And that he figures out later that day is Summer. She is his stepsister. And not only is he her guardian for like the next 6 months, he might have also locked her up. So there's that. So 5 stars. It was freaking phenomenal. Loved it. Okay, you're good. Unplug.
What?
Okay, you're good.
Okay, I just really want to go in blind on this one. I've been waiting forever for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
excited. Does feel like it. And then at the end, she sets up the MC romance that she's got coming out at the beginning of next year. And I was like, BJ, I need that now.
I am very excited for that too.
There's one book in between because she's not quite finished writing the MC romance. She told me this morning what she was writing. There's one that she just finished this in between. I can't remember what she said it was. It's probably a daddy one. Who knows? I should remember. I'm just too tired to remember.
Yeah, but I thought I saw somewhere that the next one in that series wasn't coming out till like the summer.
Okay, then it's something else. I know.
Which
so basically,
bummed me out. But maybe she's changed her.
No, I think you're right. There is something coming out between now and when the MC romance comes out. The MC romance won't be out until the beginning, for a few more months, because she says she's just finishing up with that. But there is one that she's written in between, and I wish I could remember. It is on my phone. I just can't because that's how my brain works right now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so after that devastating read, I needed to do something drastically different. So I read a hockey book. Actually, listened to a hockey book.
Okay.
So it's If You Claim Me by Helena Hunting, and this one just came out. It's in the Toronto Terrors series, but I actually haven't read very much out of that series, so I was able to keep up. These are like the standalones in the series type situation. It's narrated by Kat Auden and Jason Clark. So we have Mildred, but everybody calls her Dread. She's a librarian. She grew up in foster care and has never really had those feelings of belonging anywhere. And so she works at this library, and there's an older woman who comes in that she gets along really well with. Well, it turns out that's Connor's grandma. Her and Connor know each other through the hockey world because she's friends with some people in the hockey world, and he's a hockey star. and they don't really get along. Connor doesn't get along really with anybody. He's kind of one of those, always getting into fights, riling people up, doesn't really get along. But he has such deep layers to him that we really see throughout this story. And I ended up just loving him so much. Well, Dred finds out that she is in this apartment that her grandma had many years ago, and it was a rent control situation. They have the same name, and they have found out that she's not her grandma, and she owes like 20 grand in back rent, or she's going to lose her apartment, and there is no like you can make payments type situation. So she's panicking. Well, Connor's grandma is needing some surgery. She's ill, and Connor goes to the library and realizes that Mildred and her are friends. So he throws this out there: let's get married. It will make my grandma really happy, because him and his grandma are the only one in the family that really get along, and he doesn't get along with his parents at all. And so this would make her happy, and he will take care of this back rent issue. And so they agree to do this. And so now they're married and living together. I loved it so much. There's so many layers to our characters who are just very broken. This reminded me why I really like Helena Hunting. I haven't read her in a while, but oh my gosh, it was a 5-star read. I just love it. I love a tortured hero that like has like all those layers to him. So this was just phenomenal. I was so glad I read it.
Okay. No, it's all you. I'm done.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right, because you had the trilogy.
Trilogy they talked about as one, yeah.
Okay. So then I was kind of all over my place with my reading. It's like dark romance, hockey, Halloween, Christmas.
Yep.
Thriller, murder mystery.
You're gonna say murder mystery.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
right.
Next up, I read, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm working on getting books off of my shelf that I've read. Well, actually, it's just moving them to a different side of the bookshelf, but whatever. So this is A Fair to Die For by Wendy Owens. So Jason discovers his wife is having an affair, and Jason is described as a narcissist, and he's kind of an ass to the people around him. He likes things a certain way, and that is that. And he is the head of this big company, and his company is making a huge acquisition type situation, or making a merger or deal or something. And he is terrified that if people find out that his wife does not respect him, that it's going to just tank everything. And he is livid about this. So after some stewing on this whole thing, he decides that his wife has got to go, and so does her affair partner. So he sets up a very elaborate plan on how he's going to do this. And when he goes to execute it, we switch to the point of view of Maria, who is the detective on the case, and we discover that nothing went as planned. Okay. I'm going to say that while you're not supposed to like Jason, I kind of liked him a little bit, and was hoping that the book would work out. Like, I don't know what I was just hoping for, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I think when you describe your hero, I mean, it says right on the front cover that he's a narcissist, that you can't expect good things from him.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Then I had a book that kind of let me down a little bit, and I feel bad because normally I like her writing. And have you read One Night Standards? No? Okay. Well, you can skip it.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. All right.
So this is One Night Standards by Heather M. Orgeron. This is Sammy and Lyle's story. Lyle is a rock star. He's been a playboy. Sammy is his best friend's little sister. He's about a year older. They had this big connection when they were teenagers. He goes off to be in the band and promises someday that he's going to come back for her, but wants her to live his life. Well, she is getting married. She finds out on her wedding day that her husband-to-be has been cheating, so she's breaking up with him. He shows up and says, "I'll be the groom." And she says, "Okay." And they decide to get married that day. So wedding still happens, just with a new groom. all of that happens in the first few pages of the book, and the rest of the book is just them kind of like reconnecting, and we see some flashbacks. And honestly, I got really bored. I rated it 3 stars, but I got bored because everything happened in the first few pages.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Next.
And the last book that I read. Are you trying to hurry up my reviews?
No, I just
here?
didn't want you to stew in your guilt.
And my guilt? Oh.
Yeah, I don't
I really liked what was the one you read it to? It's in the same series. I'll Call You Later. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
This one just fell flat for me.
Yep.
So normally I like her. She's got some, what's the other one that we both read that was really good? Morning Wood?
Morning Wood, and then I like her Doppelbanger and Boomerang.
I haven't read that one yet. Yeah. So this just is a good, goes to show you that sometimes when one book doesn't work for you, other books might still be fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so next up, I read The One for Me by Corinne Michaels. And this is part of her backlist book club, so I've been trying to work on getting caught up on all this. Okay, so in this one, we have Sean. Sean's a baseball player, and he is now home for his 6 months on the farm. That was part of the whole will process. And so each of the Arrowwood brothers are forced to come back and live on the farm. So he is back for his 6 months. Him and Devaney have been best friends since they were children. And they've kind of stayed close, but drifted a little bit here and there over the years. And so he is back, and the two of them kind of strike up a romantic relationship. But Devaney is set in the fact that she will never leave, and he plays baseball in Florida. And so he's going to be forced to leave. And the two of them, things are going along. And I started to be like, I'm kind of getting a little bored in this book. And then wham, Corinne Michaels throws this huge curveball into it. I'm hysterically crying. Holy smokes. Didn't see the big curveball coming, because sometimes when things happen in books, you think, oh, everything's going to work out okay. No, big curveball. I should have known better. I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I did cry quite a bit in it. So,
okay.
I cried a lot this week, and my reading was everywhere. I read lots of different things, but I felt like I had a good reading week. I enjoyed my reading.
Same. All right, well, wrap her up.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. If you have not hit the subscribe button, we would love it if you would do that. And make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and occasionally Wednesdays. Like we're kind of all over the place on our Wednesday videos.
We really are. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.